Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Bonjour, ça va? Hello, everyone. Now, I was asked a question interestingly, and I'd never really showed it, and I put it up here as you can see. The damage. Doing an opener, doing a rotation is one thing, blah, blah, blah. These are the numbers for that. The left side is what Swtor shows, the overall damage. So let's say you're on a boss, like the first one in Temple of Sacrifice, Mustafa or something, and then the ads come. Of course you're going to get huge numbers. The right side is what Orbs is good at, single boss numbers. But what I never really shown on my abilities is the damage, overall damage. So if someone asked me when I was putting up those little Raccoon mini bosses, which I obviously, as you can tell, I use for dummies because they have 2 million health. Which one class does the most damage in the opener alone? Like your basic opener for every class, which one does the most damage? Now, as most of you can see, especially in my chapters master mode solo videos, I use IO a lot. Innovative Ordnance. Because it does a lot of dot damage and tech damage, which most bosses, including tanks, are weak at. I'm trying to talk slowly. It's very hot here. We're in a heat wave in Montreal. It's now 38 in my room, even with a fan. But when I first recorded these videos, because of my fan, it interfered with the mic. So I had to delete everything and start all over. So here we go. Innovative Ordnance. As we know, we have something called a double supercharge opener. So it's our basic setup. Priming shot, everything gives an extra three supercharges. And the 2% damage boost for 15 seconds. Everything else is the same. There's no changes. So here we go. Double supercharge. And the basic opener. Now Koosh does his supercharge after thermal. Let's see what happens there. So I'll do it the two ways. The Koosh way. Now here is where he puts supercharge. And that's it. So as you saw, I went up to 38k. And damage stops at 595,000 health. Now, in general, most tunes have between 420 and sometimes up to 455,000 K health. So that opener on one person or boss with the same amount of health would be dead. That's the Koosh opener. Wait for my electronic to come down. This is the opener I use. I pop supercharge the moment I hit mag shot. Not mag shot, thermal detonator, unload. Sorry. You'll see. It's hot. I got sweat all over my face. Okay, so 10 seconds. Double supercharge. Power surge, I use a 2 boost. 1, 2. Electronet, this is where I use it. Didn't trigger the second mag shot. Okay, I messed it up there. So, yes, the Koosh opener works. So, this is on an IO tune. Do I have my mercenary arsenal? No, I don't. Okay, so I'll go back, get the tacticals, come back and redo this for that. Hello YouTube, how is everyone doing? I was asked a question and I never really showed it. Where you see my mouse is the damage. I've always shown the DPS, heal, and tank numbers. I never really showed the damage. What the question was, which class does the most damage in the opener alone? Not opener rotation, but the opener. This person asked it mostly for PvP. Now, keep in mind, PvP, people will pop their defenses, their immunes, like Jugs and Guardians have an ability when they leap, they have 4 seconds immune of all stuns, etc. You know what I mean. I won't go through every class. So, what I'll try and do is, I'm not an expert on all classes. I know a bit of each. So, I've set it up where I can start doing my rotation, as you see here where my mouse is. So I start from left to right, then right to left, and that's when my rotation starts. So this here is basically the opener. This is here, concealment operative. You've seen in my past videos, I was able to hit 39k sometimes and outright wipe yellow or white name bosses with the opener alone. Now those videos are a couple of years ago, so they're down the list. So what I'm going to try and do is try and repeat that. Now in my videos of why deception sucks, and then I made a video of showing it doing 37k. It's because the first part of that video I did 26k doing the exact same abilities. Now what's the difference of 11k? Because that sin deception was attacking like this, facing it. Operatives and sins have their abilities do more damage from behind. It used to say it. Does it still say it? Okay, it doesn't. But this used to say that it does more damage from behind, like backstab. Where's backstab? You know what I mean. It's like Maul, the main attack for deception. Maul does more damage from behind than from the front. Here it is, backstab. Ambushes enemy for 27k, only usable from behind the target. If used from stealth, backstab can deal 33 to 34. Now, if I did backstab on this in front, it would do half that. It would still hurt. It will still hit, but less. Okay, so let's do it. Enough yapping. Where's my stealth? There we go. Oh, I forgot. Show my loadouts. Okay, so up until 43 and down is your attack. Everything above is useless in dummies. So this is the main concealment. Roll knife. I like to use quick countermeasures. I don't really stun, because stun means you don't do DPS. Don't do DPS, you don't kill the enemy. Now, in this scenario, dummy-wise, this is your best one, because when you use crippling slice, it makes your next attack a critical hit. Now, most of the times, this is what I use, but since this is an opener only, I've chosen to use tactical crit. If I was going to do the full 2 or 10 million health, or actual fights, this and lethality, this is your best bet. So here we go. So, stim boost, backstab. So just the opener. And that's it. 38k opener. And let's let the poison effect run off. 488,000 health. Now most players at 343 full ricotta will have between 412 and 445k health. So right there, if I use my stuns in sequential following this ability, this opener, that person would be dead if they did not have a chance to trigger their defenses. This is why some operatives, especially arenas, and some sin deception players who are very good at their class, this is why you see in arenas, they one-shot you in 2-3 seconds. They pop, you get stunned, whack, 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 you're dead. This is why. 488,000K in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits, that much damage, 38K. That's pretty good. Now, lethality, I suck at it, but let's try it. I use lethality only in, war zones. Oh, and I should mention, I'm also missing, this is all endurance versatile. These are 300 augments, but they're versatile, which is mastery and power. Not like all my other classes, which are 318, accuracy, and critical. So this tune alone, 18,000 mastery. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, so again, I suck at lethality. This is my Warzone tune. Mostly to be a dick. So, increase armor penetration, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage of corrosion assault. Corrosive grenade increases critical hit chance. Dummy shit, so we don't need stun. And like I said, reset the cooldown on stim boost. As you see, it's already there because in PvP, this is wild. Now, having a tactical advantage increases your critical hit chance, but I already have that. So pretty much nothing here to use for this rotation, except for one change. There we go. So the opener, I don't really know it, but this is how I do it. I do know that Shiv from stealth does a lot of damage, and it does the debuff. I think you're supposed to continue when this goes off. I don't know. I don't really play lethality. I never really learned the opener. But just doing that, when all the poison effect runs off, 601,000K health damage in just that little opener alone. So yeah, if you go up against someone and you combine 1 or 2 stuns with that, that person doesn't have a chance to either phase walk like a Swtor or use their immunities, that person's dead automatically. Let's say if that was against me at 417,000 health, I'd be dead. Alright, so I'll cut the video now, change tunes, and see what the others do. Alright, to continue, my operative videos were on Darth Mongus. This is here, this pub version. Now here we go for Rage. Rage, we do the Dark Synergy, Rage Engine, and what I like to do, oops, hold on, where is it? Start building Furious Power before. So that means, yes, you don't do your saber throw and leap as usual, but you will see what happens when I use Furious Power before compared to the other usual opener. Everything above 47 is useless for dummies. Now this is just the opener, no rotation. This is your most important one. Raging Burst or Smash increases the critical hit chance, critical hit damage for 6 seconds. 6 seconds. 6 seconds, which means you're in rage, 3 hits of Furious Strike within that. Okay, so here it is. 4 stacks. Go here and build my rage. One. Look at that. 90K. Opener only. Just the opener. So I lost the count. I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know where it was. But look at that. 705,000 health. Yeah, I'd be dead. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage for that one opener only on one tune. That is insane. This is why I entitled my video Rage Juggernaut the King. Right. So continuing on, Vengeance. Now obviously we have the nerf, so it's not as good. But let's see what happens. I use deep cuts and bleeding pummel. Hold on. Get my furious power. Usually you would use Bloodhound, but I always like to use the furious power before. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, it's already there. Sorry. So it has 2 stacks now. I learned this a long time ago from an arena freak, and it works. You just have to time it before you jump down when the invisible wall pops. Sometimes you're allowed to change abilities. Sometimes you're not. Okay, so like again, because you can't lead because it's going to use a charge. 1, 2, 3. Opener only. So I was looking at the health. I forgot to look at the damage, but yeah, 703k health, 703,000 health, and that little opener, I'd be dead. On this tune, I have 420,000 health. 703, yeah, you're dead. To continue, Shadow Serenity. This is everyone's favorite class. So, Balancing Field. Force and Balance 2 charges. Dealing damage with Scourge gives your critical hit chance a boost. And critical hit chance increases your force regeneration. Blah, blah, blah. We all know that. Opener only. 2-time trouble. Let's do it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opener only. So 567k health. That's still a lot. Now this one here, I have 429,000 health. I'd still be dead. Now for Hatred, as you saw, I didn't stealth. It doesn't really matter. Some people say, yeah, but you're not stealth. Well, let's see. So I got 2 charges. Okay, let's go. And I'll try and position myself in the rear. One, 2, 3, 33K, 646,000. Not bad. That's still a pretty one-shot ability. So as you can see so far, pretty much all the ones I've shown so far, you're dead. If you have another guy attacking at the same time and he spams the stuns and I just attack, he or she, no matter what class they're using, they're dead. So off to another tune. Alright, so I showed the hatred. Now here comes, wait, hold on, deception. So deception is good if the person knows how to play. So I'll do it 2 times with the 2 different tacticals. Now, Reaper is what you use for PvE daily heroics. This is what you want to use all the time. You're reducing the reaping strike as fast as possible. And Voltic Engine. Now this here is dependent on you. For dummy, this is good because your recklessness does more damage to physical attacks. This is good if you're in a long fight in an op or a flashpoint, you need the extra heal and you need the extra force regeneration. This is an opener only, so that will not matter. So here we're going to use the Reaping Strike, Blade of the Elements. Now the reason why I say a lot of people suck at deception is because they'll literally go next to the tank and attack the boss, player, or whatever, like this. That's stupid. Don't do it. Here, deals 24 to 26k to a single target if used from behind, or 20 to 22 damage otherwise. People, learn to read. Okay, that's it. That's the secret to deception. From behind. Fucking oops. Okay, so here we go. Now, Phantom Stride does get a bit wonky. I should have used that. Last one. Whoops, wrong button. 61k. Look at that. 37k. 893,000. That's insane. That's insane. That's what a good deception player does. That's the difference between good deceptions and bad deceptions. Now, same thing, but the Awakened Flame. This is what everyone uses. Okay, so recklessness. One, and that's it. 39k, drop to 34, 872,000 health. 872,000 health. You're dead. You are dead. Dead. This is why deception is good when played properly. I used to like playing in arenas, but the way people, the new trend now is people like to turn to face you because they know you'll do less damage. So I just pop Hatred, put the 2 dots, and just twirl, twirl, twirl. Depth of field, dead. So this is how most people play Deception. You see this in Flashpoints, you see this in Ops. Oops. Wrong button, sorry about that. One last one. last one, I meant Reaper Strike. And that's it. 33k, 914,000. 923,000. That's still pretty good. But all that damage is mainly from this. But you saw 33k compared to what, 37? Yeah. And this here is the infamous 6-second automatically critical hit. So unless you know how to play Deception, yes, you can one-shot. But most people don't. So, this is on Swtor. This is mostly my PvP server. So we'll go to my pub side and check out my Gunnery Commando. Alright, hello. Continuation Swtor server. These are mostly my PvP tunes and tunes that I do for the Galactic Seasons for the free CC. See, 38,000k. So these tunes are not tuned for 318 max gear like Starforge. This is like my Darth Malgus tunes. So as you see, it's 300 odds and it's versatile, which means it's power and mastery, the main features on these tunes. So the stats are a bit wonky, but for PvP and the few Galactic Season runs, that's perfectly fine. So for this case, we are doing the opener only. I'm not an expert on Commando, just to tell you. So here we go. I'll put the volume up, sorry. So we're going to do the primed ignition. As you can see, Gunnery Commando has one of the higher ALAC specs in the game. And that should be it. 28k, 830,000 health. That's almost around double. That's plenty enough to kill someone if they don't have a chance to raise their defenses, like reactive shield or echoing deterrence, which most people use. Like I said, this is my PvP tune, so for us it stuns and further knockbacks in groups. So not bad, could be better, but like I said, I'm not an expert on this class. So we've done the two servers where the odds are 300s. Now we're going to go on to Starforge, where my main characters are 10. 2. I've shown in the previous video how I how I gear my tunes. It's one set, all for DPS, and my tanks and heals have their own separate sets. So, okay, I'm on my Mara. I'm not an expert. Oh, nice crit. I'm not an expert on Mara either, even though this is the tune I started on. It was a Fury. Just to show you, I was Fury since 2016, only until a couple of years ago when it was no longer top class. It was one of the hardest hitting classes out there. Okay, so pummeling. What's this? Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here are my stems and adrenals and my health packs when I do raiding. Here's my extra augs for my tanks. And here are my extra crit aug craftings from the critical and they're versatile. Mastery and power. Already mentioned that before. So quick load up.
You'd be patched up.
So all my DPS tunes will be using this same gear set, the same relics, and their own individual implants, and the same earpieces. It's very hot. Sorry about that. So to reduce the length of the videos, like I've been doing before, once I finish, I'll cut it, and I'll come back instead of watching me going through all this. But that's pretty much what I do, especially on Starforge. So over here, sad choice here, not much to do. This is obvious. This one, it depends. Sometimes this does give an extra damage boost, but it's RNG. RNG is not very good, so we go for a dependable ability, which is consumes a stack of Berserk, and it does 4 times the damage. That's big, big, big. Now, another thing, a lot of people take this for the 1% max gen health. That's pretty good, but this is your biggest ability as an annihilation and especially Carnage. You build 2 Fury when attacked. You build 2 Fury when attacked. You will be endless. You will not be starving. Parsing, you will have trouble. So, the obligatory hidden power. Raise up that nice little bar. Go back to our single attack. Some people like to use dual sabers, so let's do that. One, 2, 3. Whoops. Like I said, I'm not an expert in this class, but it's still fun to play. If it glows, 1, 2, 3. My lucky is not higher. Yeesh, that's pretty low. Okay, so I messed up my alacrity on that one. But still, opener, 24k. Holy crap. YouTube. We broke the million health bar. So that is an insta kill right there. Dead. You are dead. You are dead. For sure. Okay, so. Oh, Lee Jesus. Look at that, 112. Alright. Did I grab a wrong earpiece? This is a problem when you have everything in one area. So I'm just gonna do this quick. 1-9. Okay, what's going on? I had an alacrity piece, but I have seemed to have misplaced it. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens with the critical. Try and lower that accuracy number. 112 is a wee bit too high. But somehow I messed up my alacrity. Oh well. If you noticed, I have not been using my raid boost. I have not been using an adrenal or stim. Well, sorry, stim yes, but I've not been using adrenals. So let's see the difference if I use these. So, camo boost. alacrity is really making a difference. One, two, three, four, five. The alacrity is really messing up my rotation here. So this is not the best example, but you see what I mean. The main opener, this is what the point is. So the DPS is lower, but because we are a dot spec, 3 dots on a target, look at that insane damage. This is what I'm talking about. And just by changing accuracy to crit, 43% crit, that's the difference. So let's go to the spec I've been doing for years, which is Fury. Now I've already used my little frenzy, so I'm gonna charge up. So what do I use here? Raging Bursts. Oop, nope. That was my PvP number. Okay, so this is it. This is your must. Obliterate gets an extra fury. And critical chance is increased while Berserk is active. Some people like to do this, but I prefer this. But there's also another buff. This one, Furious Power. I mentioned this on my Dark August tune. Works here too. You basically get your 4 stacks, click it, and right away choose the one you want and start attacking. But my 4 sleep will count as 1, unfortunately. That's how it is. Okay, 3. Getting my fury. Four stacks. Click it. So this is opener only. So, yeah. Yep. I wasn't paying attention to the numbers. I was looking more at the damage. So in the end, 601,000 health. Whereas I am currently at 418. So yeah, that would kill me. But honestly, this used to be top. It's very disappointing about what they did to this class. So let's try everyone's other current favorite, which is Carnage. Sorry. So, combat style. Gore deals additional damage, so no, we don't want that. Here it is. Critical chance increased by 10%. And Massacre deals 10% for each movement effect. Oops. So for this one, I won't waste time with the Furious Power. Opener only. $31K. Wait till the bleed effect is over. So 31K, 666,000 health. Pretty good, pretty good. So that's it for this tune. These are all my marauders. As you can tell, I do have a Sork, but I don't play it. I gave up on it. Madness. You little bunny rabbits can stay on that tune. I don't like it. So I'll change tunes, come back. Alright, so I know I've done the hateful and the deception before, but that was on a Swtor Sean where the odds are 300 max and all versatile. This is the classic setup right now. 318, all criticals and accuracy. So already I'm below 18,000. 110, crit is up, and I took a hit on alacrity, which I'm not very happy about, but as a hatred, it doesn't matter. So the same thing, same implants, the same combat style, double death field, crit on eradicate, and my force regen is up. Sorry about that. The great thing about hatred, you don't have to be stealth to start. So yeah, the hit on alacrity is huge. Remember, opener only. So 660,000 health. Wrong button. I didn't even put it. Okay. So my deceptions on another tune will switch out. Okay, so here's my deception on my server, on my main server, with all the 318 critical and a few accuracy, compared to the versatile on the previous one on Swtor Sean. So 110, 42 this, still low on alacrity, and this is also my Swtor tune, so I'll be able to do the transition easier instead of always editing out. So as usual, get your 2 charges first. And since we are deception, the Phantom Stride. So here we go, always from behind. Opener only, so 40k, 647,000 health. Pretty good, pretty good. As long as you attack from behind, which a lot of people don't. You'll see them do this. Or do this. Stupid. All that time you're doing wasting moving around, you're doing less and less DPS. So yeah, you look cool, but look at the difference in DPS. Yeah. I went a bit overboard on that one, but you get the idea. So this is my main Swtor tune. Oops. So 110, 41k, and you see right there, my alacrity is already a bit up. So for Swtor, single target, always this. Bonus damage to return force. Dummies don't really get affected by slow, so that won't really make a difference. This is good in PvP. Sorry about that. So in the Swtor case, single target is 39 and below. You use what you want, and of course so much. So a lot of people open it this different ways. I use polarity shift before crushing darkness. Open only. That's it. I didn't really look at the DPS, but the damage, yeah, that's pretty good. For a tune with 400, 420, 430k, that's pretty much a dead tune right there. Hold on, let's see. Heal, tank, hatred, you've already seen. Okay, off to the next tune. Alright, another example of the same class but different augments. These are all my 318s, except for one. I ran out. And the other spec deer killer is all 300s and versatile. So it's again under 18,000, but 110, 35k, 35% crit, and just at the threshold for your alacrity. So obviously the obligatory volatile cinders and of course slow burn. Now because we're only doing an opener, I doubt we'll have to use it, but this is always a good choice. And of course, because we are a IO, double supercharge is the best way to go. And of course 2 uses of power surge. Opener only, 44k. There you go. Now you know why I say Arsenal sucks. So once the dots are over, 725,000k health. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. That's almost double. So let's now do the icky, awful Arsenal. Combat style. Because we're using the burn dot, so we want faster tracer missiles. And of course, everyone's favorite, you're all predictable. Arsenals do not get double supercharge. I hate this class. You just stand there spamming tracer missiles for almost 2 seconds. You're like a fucking moron. Okay, so here we go. Oops, missed. Opener only. I know I'm extending it a bit. And that's it. So 28k, 25k at 830,000 health. That's solely because of the burn. But yeah, that's sad. Now let's see if I have. I do not. Okay, so on this tune, I'll stay spec'd. I'm sorry, I won't stop recording because my scoundrel is on this tune, the lethality operative, but I don't have the shotgun. Make this quick. Where did I put it? Okay, that's not it. Here it is. And where's... Okay, wait. That's the AoE. Here it is. Okay. So, operative. Brutal shots reduce your upper hand to 0. It refunds 1. That's good. Strap bomb. More damage and increases damage reduction. Don't want that. Here it is. Increase the critical hit chance. Now resets the cooldown of all your abilities and raises your mastery by 20. That's pretty good. So I didn't use it on the other tune, the operative lethality. Let's use it here. So get those up. Let's see the stats. Again, just under 18,000, just under 110, and a bit higher on the alacrity because of the implants. This is a PvP tune, so I don't really use these much. I'm stopping when the buff run out, and that's it. Almost 35k, 820,000. That's pretty good. Pretty good for someone who doesn't usually play this spec. But you see the differences being from behind. Alright, off to another spec. Alright, here is my favorite class, the one-shot. The one-shotter of all, PT Advanced Prototype. There are many ways to do this. You can either use Energy Burst for the 4% damage increase or the burn effect. So let's do those two. So this is all the 318 AUGs. Oops, a bit too much accuracy. There you go. So here we'll be on for a bit because there are a few openers. All are pretty good. But since my alacrity took a hit, we'll see what happens. I do flame sweep to trigger my rail shot. So you can either do it this way. Hold on. Okay, so there's a leap. I always put my cannons on the number 1 button. So get the cannons up. Flame sweep. Get ready. And as you can see, this happens to me sometimes. It just stays. Don't know why it does that. But you can see it eats up my heat like crazy. I like it, but it's a heat killer. Sorry, this is the single target energized membrace. Forgot to mention that. So 1 million damage. That's a lot. That's a lot. The king of one shots. the king of one-shots. No class beats this. Since it's a single, but this is the biggest hit, we'll try it anyways, but we'll keep the single target tactical on. Wait for my vent heat. Now remember, I'm not using any adrenals. Not once. Okay, vent heat is up. Oops. Ah, crap. I messed up. Okay, ignore that one. Start again. Oh, you see, that's the advantage of this ability. Advanced yield. You can shoot from longer distances. Okay, so remember, now I got this one. And again, this is staying. One more thermal and that's it. So 33k was what I saw, and look at that extra damage from changing one ability. From going from the single target burn dot to the 4% per energy load. So that's an extra 200,000 health gone from your enemy's bar. So let's see what happens when we put it on the tactical that corresponds with this ability. I still don't know why it just keeps glowing, but I'll use it. This time we will not throw the grenade. It's up there, but who cares? I didn't get the missiles either. Got one more grenade and that's it. $93k from one grenade. Complete effect. So it's roughly the same as before, just underneath. That person would be dead. So it's roughly the same. Now here's the other one. A lot of people are running this. I don't really like it, but let's see what happens. Put it back on a single target. So overwhelming offense. Ah, shit. One more grenade and that's it. So yeah. Overwhelming offense. What do you think? To be fair, I didn't fully use all the abilities. So here, vent heats up. We'll get my missiles, so wait a bit. To be fair. Yeah, that whirring sound you're hearing is my fans on my computer. I don't really know where it is. All the screws are tight, and I touched each fan and nothing seems loose, so I hope it's not going to break soon. Okay, missiles. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you gotta aim first. One more grenade. Do you see a difference? That's less. So yeah, stop using this. Use a single target. A lot more effective. So what else do I got? I got my commando, but we've already seen that. And my tank. And my met, as you've seen in the Dantooine crash site. But I mostly use this for my PT. The god of insta-kills. So off to another tune. Alright, so this here is the pyro. I'm not an expert on pyro, but I do my best. So we'll get them 5 stacks. There we go. So we're going to use the flame dissipation. It's up. Where's my leap? So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I messed up here. And that's it. So 28k. Wait for the burn. Okay, it's over. 838,000 health. That's pretty good. But like I said, I'm not an expert on this class. This is also my other IO mercenary, but I've shown that before. And my tank and my healer. This tank is all absorbed, by the way. And I forgot, this tune also has increased mastery by 5% while under the influence of a stim, which I am not under. Okay, hold on. Here, stim. And we'll change one. Which one is it? Get a bit more alacrity than I wish, but let's try it. So, Flaming Fist, Rocket Punch is reduced by 4. Okay. Let's see what happens on this one. I totally forgot which ability that was supposed to be. Too late now. And that's it. Okay, don't really remember, 29k, but a little bit more health gone. 866,000. So did this really do a difference? You get a judge. But my other tunes, wait, let's see. Yeah, a bit just over 18,000. So technically, this class right here is at the perfect matching numbers you want, except for the alacrity. I mean stats, sorry. So that's an example of PT class. Like I said, I'm not an expert on it. Alright, so as far as DPS goes, this is going to be my last one. It's almost 1 a.m. It's 32 degrees at night. Yes, it's hot. I got sweat down my arms and everything. So, like before, the beginning, my mode Adam Tunes was on Dark Magus with the 300 odds. This here has a 318 critical and accuracy, whereas that one is a 300 versatile. So I took a hit on accuracy and a big hit on alacrity, which I don't like at all. Okay, hold on. Okay, as far as DPS goes, this is it. This is a few tunes on. This is a few videos on one tune. So on my previous jug, it was the 300 versatile. This here is a 318 critical. So I take a hit in mastery, but in power it goes up. So we're going to use the Furious Tricon to target the Blaze, the obligatory Dark Synergy, and hold on, reduce the cooldown of Obliterate, and of course, Indignant Rumination, blah blah blah. I can't pronounce it. When you trigger Enrage, your force abilities don't cost force. Here we go. No more blah blah. Since I did it on that tune, we'll do it on this tune. This is great in PvP. This is great in PvE in some bosses, and some bosses this just sucks. I'm going to be honest. That's why sometimes people always switch out tunes, especially if it's not a timed run. Okay, but when you use the Furious Power ability, you can't use your Saber Throw and Force Charge because that will use 2 charges. Alright, draw me in the chat. Okay, so Furious Power, I use it. Quickly change, go up, build, 1, and 1, 2, 3. Opener only. 34k is what I saw. The bleed's over 677,000 health. That's pretty good. Pretty decent. For someone with 420, 440k health, that's a lot. That person is dead. Okay, so I said slam. Basically the same gear, it's different tactical. Hold on, something's amiss. Did I screw something up? Sorry. Okay. So reduce the cost of frenzy. Berserk. Where's Berserk? There is no Berserk. So this is the one you want. Blood Rage. And that's it. Okay, so here we go. Combat style. When shattered on target, crit chance of all bleed effects goes up. Impale does more damage. Critical hit chance goes up. And critically hitting blah 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 blah. We all know the spec. You up? I won't use Fury Power this time, not waste time. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm so slow. I'm gonna have to fix this selectly. Opener only. Now, obviously, this doesn't really work on a single. It's best when there's multiple targets around. So 658,000 health, and I didn't pay attention. I saw 23K. Yeah, not too bad. Could be better. It is better, but when there's multiple targets. Okay, so I said I was going to switch. Let's switch. I'm hot. Balance. Let's change. This is everyone in PvP. This is all their spec. You freaks. Where is it? Force Lord. Force Lord. Force Lord. There you go. Duration, mental, and force speed. There you go. So the specs, 1.9 and alacrity 855. Combat style, single target, so that's what we want. Single target, and that should be good. Don't worry about my health for now. Okay, so I don't usually play Madness, so I'm not really good on the opener for this, so bear with me. $34K, 658,000 health gone in a couple of seconds. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. Now, it says here Rando's doing it up, so I'm going to log off, edit these videos while I go play the game. Alright, hello. The last classes, Marauder. Unless you want to see Sniper. Snipers I'm not really good at, and I don't really play it except for PvP. So here we have Carnage, everyone's favorite class. Very popular in PvP right now, especially arenas. Won't bother going through that. Already went up, blah blah blah. So this is just the opener. This class is different. I will be using the boosts. The boost, whatever, you know what I mean. Fuck. I can't talk. Where is the most important one? Here it is. Put that there. I'm going to use a shard of Mortis on this one. So here we go. That's what I hate about this class. It's very RNG dependent. If you're not being attacked, your rage is just drained. Carnage is great when you're being attacked. When you're being a dummy, you're trying to get some fury. That's about it. That's why I don't really like doing it on solo shit. So, okay, the dummy off. So 840,000 health. Not too bad. Pretty good. Okay, Annihilation. This is the class I like to play. Also a bit hard. This is the most important thing for any Myra. If you don't want to have any more problems with Fury, this is it. You build 2 Fury when attacked. How simple can that be? Yeah, PvP, everyone's going to attack you. So that's it. So you just spam Cloak of Pain with 64 Cloak of Retribution. We won't get into it. We already know about it. Okay, so I already used my Frenzy. Reduces the cooldown of Frenzy by 15 seconds. Berserk increases all damage. We all know about that. And of course, most important one. So people like to do saber throw, so I'll do that. Okay, well, go with it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Berserk. I think I messed up. And 1, 2. Then you would go in your regular rotation. The regular rotation. These are openers only. So after the dots tick off, 792. I didn't really pay attention to the DPS. You get the idea. So not too bad. Could be better. I'm not the best Mara. I'm not the best Annihilation. Now this is what I've been playing every day from 2016 until a few years ago. And this is the major reason. Raging Burst will increase your critical chance to hit damage by 15%. That's a lot. And of course, your critical hit chance is increased by another 25% during Berserk. Now, is my Fury back? Yes, Frenzy is back. So, obligatory camo Fury building. Cauterize Coronary. Leap. And then Frenzy Berserk. My buttons are all different here. Okay, give me a second. As you can see, every spec is different. Dual saber throw for everyone. Opener only. Sorry. Oh, I saw 26 and 632,000. So you see the loss, the big nerf Fury Mara got 200,000 health loss. That's huge. That's ridiculous. Shame on, and you know what? Holy shit. I was missing a gear piece. I can't fucking believe that. Well, I guess we try again. Okay. Without the frenzy this time. $30K. Yeah, big difference from before, and an extra 100,000 in health. So 714,000 health in total. Yeah, how fucking stupid you have to be to missing a gear piece. I forgot to mention, here it is what I use on this. 39 is a shit choice, but this one you always do that. And like I mentioned before, this is your best thing for building Fury, nothing else. I love Carnage, it's a great class to play, but man, you starve. You suffer in the Fury building so much. So Annie. Oh yeah, bigger numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last of the opener. Oh. last one. So yeah, big difference in numbers. So now it's stopped. 820,000 health, around a couple of 10,000 less. And the last one, Carnage. So Berserk Gore is what I use with Rushdown and Swiftness. Let's get the camera on. Once again, Shard of Mortis. Let's do it. Okay, Frenzy's back up. Oops, I missed. Crap. Okay, sorry about that. And there you see, this is what I hate. That's what I hate this class. One, two, three, and there you go. I'm out of fucking dust. There you go. Fuck off. And you see, I did more damage. I did way more damage, even though I fucked it up. Because I hate it. I don't hate it. When you're playing in PvP, this is king. You're being attacked, you're spamming Cloak of Pain, you never run out of rage. Fury. But when you're trying to dummy parse, forget it. So there you go. 992,000 health points in an opener. So now that you've seen them all, you be the judge. I'm not the perfect player. I just do my best. And when you don't see me in groups, this is where I am. Practicing, practicing, practicing. You should do it too. It helps and it works. Good night. Good luck. And I'm glad I lived through 2 hateful kills.